I'd like to call the February 12th meeting of the Cable Advisory Board to order. Welcome you all, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I know it's been a few months, and Happy New Year and welcome everybody. Hope everybody got through the holidays unscathed. And I wanted to call the meeting because obviously with the end of the year and everybody's schedules, we really didn't have a chance to get together and meet. But I know John has been busy. I've been in touch with him throughout the whole process. But I thought it was good that we get together and talk about some initiatives for 2025 and kind of recap, 2024 a little bit, and just kind of take it from there. So first we have to review and approve the minutes from the September 11th meeting. I don't know if you've all had a copy of it or had a chance to review it. If you'd like to approve it, that would be great. Any
motion to approve?
Yes. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
If you could clip on your microphones, so it will be better audio.
I feel like I'm at a press conference. Okay, we'll move on to, and the agenda is really not elaborate, but I think it's important for us to kind of go through things. Number 3 is the director's report and discussion. So, John, do you want to take that?
Yep, so I'm going to skip over the first two because that's also on the agenda. So, let's see. So, David has started a spotlight series for the public channel, and what it does is it highlights businesses in town. And I told him, and he's right on it. We're not making commercials for these businesses. It's more like, why are you in Westport, and different things about Westport. We say we see where they're working and all of that, but it's definitely not a commercial because that's not what we do. But it's a pretty good thing. He did 2 more today, and he's going to start working on that. So that's coming down the pipe. I'm working with a woman, I don't know if you folks know Lisa Costa. She's a Council on Aging board member. I think she's new to she may be new to, actually, I think she replaced Irene probably. She has a volunteer program called the Stroke Buddies, and she's building that out, and I'm going to be doing a lot of different stories with her. She's a very creative person. She's ambitious. She's really community involved, so I'm glad I got to meet her. I didn't know her up until a month or so ago. So we've had a few meetings, and it looks like we're going to be doing that. And both David and Valerie can help us on that once we start nailing things down. So that's Stroke Buddies, but it's also the other things that she's really into. I got Irene showed up again. She is kind of spearheading a town's celebration of the 250th signing of the Declaration of Independence next year. So she's just getting things moving, and we made a commercial for her, and she wants to start getting the public noticed about, hey, this is what's going to be going on, and how would we want to do it, and all of that. She's going to be working with the select board in conjunction with them, and they may even come up with some subcommittee or something just to get a volunteer thing going. So we'll be there to promote that as well. And the 250th would be next year. Yeah, 26 next year. Another thing that we're working on is myself, Carol Freitas from the Veterans Office, and 8th grade teacher John Bernier. John Bernier and his class are making, they're interviewing veterans, and what their final thing they want to do is the kids are going to write the interviewing veterans, and the kids are going to write up stories on all the veterans, and they're going to actually make a book on it.
Nice.
They called us in, and the kids are now filming this on they're filming it in the TV studio, so we're also getting them on video, sort of like an archive of these veterans that we'll always have. So I'm working with 8th graders, and we did 3 last week. We're doing a couple more tomorrow, and they have about 15 to 20 that they're planning on interviewing.
Wow.
And it's all Westport veterans, too, so it'll be something just, like I said, just to archive. So that's coming down. The summer was slow around here, but because of the holidays, I noticed a lot of people, once Thanksgiving comes, I heard so many times, yeah, I'll talk to you after the holidays. Like, they're mailing it in mid-November now, so it was slow on the public side in December. It was very slow, but we're picking up now. And sports things, we've live streamed 18 basketball games this season, and there's a game tonight for the boys that we're at the same time right now, and then it's going to be tournament time, and there should be a couple of home games there, I'm thinking. So we did that. I went to a game. I was proud of our kids, because we went to a game at Case last week, and they had nothing. You know, there was no camera. Camera couldn't be found, and it just kind of made me proud that we can offer this where, you know, a bigger town. I don't think they're a comp. I think their bigger town doesn't have that. So,
Yeah, coverage of the games, I think, are so very important, and you might not think it now, but years from now, they'll look back on it and be glad that at least
Yeah.
it's documented and archived.
yep.
Do you have any students that are interested in commentating or doing any of the play-by-play?
So I do have one student. He's been commentating for 3 years now. He's a senior, so I'm losing him. He doesn't do every game. He does. Last year he did almost every game. This year he hasn't been doing much. I guess he's got a lot going on, but I do lose him this year, so I'll be recruiting.
Great experience. for you.
Recruiting. Yeah. So, Valerie, if you want to say something about your side of things.
Keeping up with the meetings, like, it was slow over the holidays too, but, we've added the, offshore wind, doing that committee, and they have a meeting in February coming up, and, the opioid, those are 2 new things that we record. So, same meetings on internet, on YouTube, and on TV.
You still have 27 days in December.
Mm.
That's a slow.
Oh, really? I don't keep track like that.
Yeah,
I just know there's a lot. I had 3 meetings last night.
must be a blur, right?
Yeah.
As long as the equipment's still working, so that's the main thing.
Yeah. Have the new microphones and new screen displays in the town hall. So that's good for presentations. The select board has a presentation every time, and last night we had the finance with the school committee presentation. So that's working out.
Sounds good.
Any questions?
You guys have any questions?
Okay, yep, so that's my report.
Your equipment needs, everything is good? I know you bought some new stuff, but other than the stuff that's listed on the
Yeah,
agenda.
I'm going to stop buying a couple more cameras because, so I don't teach my class. I don't teach my class this year, and those kids have destroyed some cameras. 3-year-old cameras are, they're failing, and we had, so I'm going to upgrade the camera situation. Thing is, what they do is when they go to charge them, they'll put the power to like the headphone jack, or they'll force it into something else. So it's giving power where power shouldn't go, and I think it's shortened things out. So
Right.
Well, we should have the new cameras and give them.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
that makes sense.
yeah.
Who's overseeing the classes?
There's one class right now. It's he's kind of a building sub. Is Jared Russell, drama teacher, building sub.
You may want to have like a sit down with him and kind of just or
I've done
draw up some standard operating procedures, might help,
Mhm.
This is how you turn the camera on, this is how, maybe a little bit of training might be in order. Okay, Carrie, you had submitted something to the board, and
I did.
maybe just for the public's edification, maybe just go through it, so.
Sure. It's been slow over the holidays, but we've been working, Valerie too, expanding the town's presence by developing social media platforms and exploring new ways to engage in the community. Alongside Valerie, we've been setting up a studio in the other room to host podcasts and other digital content. I have begun establishing Facebook and Instagram accounts for the town. A little bit of trouble, but I think that it'll work out. Looking ahead, right now anyway, town meeting is very important, and there's always so many questions. So I'm going to go through each warrant article separately and see who asks what, and hopefully get the right person in to give those answers.
Right.
And just from there, see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's work in progress, right?
Yeah.
So have those sites have already launched then?
They're
on Facebook?
live, but I
Okay.
haven't interacted with anything yet. I
Okay.
haven't set up the page yet.
Yeah, okay. So it'll be interesting to see once people start following it, like some numbers and how many
Yes.
people are engaged.
Right now,
And I
they
think that's
follow
the-
me, so
Yeah.
it'd be nice to get them off of my stuff.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. But that's I think important that we can publicize it as much as possible, get people involved and engaged in it, and the numbers will grow. I think.
I'm hoping Snapchat will bring in the younger crowd.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah.
Great idea. Okay, thank you.
Mm.
So we got the director's report done. So number 4 is Spectrum Cable TV in the high school. And I know there's a price tag associated with
Our good old friends at Spectrum. So at the last meeting, you told me I was telling you how they don't get back to me and put in a ticket. I did put in a ticket and they got back to me.
Oh,
So that was some good advice. Yeah. Yeah, but you're not going to like what they said. So my goal is I need to get cable TV into the building, from the road into the building. If I want to monitor channels, I need to do that. We have it at the old building, which is vacant now. I just need them to transfer it here.
Talking about that for years.
Yep. So I finally got to the point where, this is going to happen, and he sends me a quote, and they wanted a installation charge, I think was $100, which is fine, but they wanted $120 a month, a recurring monthly charge to have this. And we get 3 or 4, whatever it is, free boxes, and so I pushed it from there, and of course, every avenue, it's a circle. I always end up going back to the guy I first spoke to who gave me this. It just goes right around. I present to them that, we're supposed to get free cable. It's 2 courtesy, or maybe 3 courtesy boxes. And it's just dead. Right now, it's just dead. I'm just running in circles. So at the last meeting, too, Steve had said maybe the Board of Selectmen will get involved. So I think it's that time where I'm going to write them and explain this to them, and maybe they can write a letter to them, because we shouldn't have to pay that, right?
Yeah, we get it free at the town hall.
Yeah.
So I think you might want to try this. I don't know if it'll work, but maybe CCing the government rep, John Mayer, I think his name was, right?
Mhm.
And get him involved in it, because if it's written into the license, which it is, then this other department, and I get the way they work, because I've had to deal with Comcast and any big corporation. They're silos, right? One department does not talk to the other department.
Different
And-
states.
Yeah. Talk to, you probably spoke to some rep somewhere, elsewhere from corporate headquarters.
I did.
But I think it's a matter of maybe getting him involved in it, and if we need to write a letter or. But
Yeah, it's at that point because everything I just said, it's not working this way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
John Mayer, though, has a history of,
Avoiding.
yep,
Yeah.
so, I can try that avenue, but it's gonna come back to this board or asking select board to write that letter.
Right.
Sure.
Do we lose Steve because of his new, do we lose Steve Willett from this board?
Temporary,
Yes.
Permanently, or is, because I know he was invited, but I.
Someone new will get appointed.
Okay,
Gotcha. Okay.
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 Okay, so that's where that stands with Spectrum Charter.
Yeah, that's kind of a big one, and really should be addressed
Mm-hmm.
without
Yep.
those charges. Because they do offer courtesy accounts, and sometimes they're discounted, but they're charging you the full boat for it,
Mhm.
which is ridiculous.
For basic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to monitor the channels.
Have to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Alright. That's it for 4.
You guys have any questions for John on this, or maybe some words of advice?
He was supposed to come for some other stuff too. We had trouble getting them down for, wasn't it some other issues?
We don't exist to him anymore, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe it's a matter of going to their website and pulling one of the vice presidents of government relations, maybe his boss and him. Sometimes if you tie in a couple people and say, listen, we're sitting with a new cable license. We have a building that is not getting service now regarding the courtesy accounts. You don't even have to say it's a brand new building. I mean, I could see the $100 installation charge, but the license promises courtesy accounts there, so there's got to be a way to twist their arm a little bit. That's just my New Yorker coming out of me, because sometimes I, I mean, you got to fight for everything these days.
Yep.
Okay,
It's the right thing, it's right in the contract.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not asking for something that,
Yeah.
Yeah. Next item is fiber quote for the high school.
So just to refresh everyone's memory, in the new building, there is fiber in the TV studio, there's fiber in the gymnasium, the library, and the auditorium, and on the baseball field. There's fiber inputs out there, and I can receive them in the TV studio. Problem is, nothing's been terminated and nothing's been labeled. So if you go in my TV studio and pull the drop ceiling panel down, you're just going to see a bunch of fiber. This has been something since day one. I've told every member of the school building committee multiple times. They've been in that room, they've seen it. Everyone in town that needs to know about it has seen it. So I'm tired of waiting for them. I'll pay for it to get done, because if not, it won't ever get done. However, reached out to Ralco. I'm calling a few, and I'll get to that. Started with Ralco Electrics out of New Bedford. They subbed to Clear Sound out of New Bedford, and they gave me a quote of $5,866. Okers is coming tomorrow, so I'll have a second quote tomorrow to see what they say. It's something we shouldn't have to pay for, and I've reached out to the school building committee to see if they can cover this cost. Silence.
What's it supposed to do?
So I can plug a camera in on anywhere that has a fiber port on the wall, and it shoots back to the TV studio, and I can see it coming into my switcher. We have one that works. Just trial and error, I found one. Clear, very clear picture. Basketball season's over. I wanted it for the start of the season so I could have multiple cameras coming in.
So it only comes from where now? Which one
The one that works is in the gymnasium up on the track,
Oh.
but there's no difference between that and what I do now, because it's just one camera that works, so.
So somebody would have to go through and like label them with,
The
Yeah,
funny,
you test them from one point to the other, trace them out, basically,
yeah,
and it should have been labeled as part of the building project.
Is it difficult? Couldn't like we
So-
do that?
no, it's very hard, because, I'll tell you in a second, they left the labels there, like inside the box, that it's unlabeled. So the end, just think of the end as a wire with a plug with no plug attached.
Okay.
Okay, there's no end on it. So by terminate, that means you gotta put the fitting on the end that it works for. That takes a special tool. Fiber's
Yeah.
like uncooked pasta.
Yeah.
It breaks easily. So I can do audio, I can terminate audio, but I'm not gonna touch fiber.
Okay. I
That's
see.
something that I don't know how to do, and let a pro do that.
Yeah.
oh, so it's got no end to it.
Yeah, It's just wrapped around the thing.
Hmm.
So hopefully Oakers can beat this. Do you folks think I should, when do I stop trying to rely on the
Who
building committee?
installed it?
Sorry?
Who installed it and left the labels there?
Gee, I forget the vendor's name, probably, I don't wanna say it in case I'm wrong, but, they've been made aware of it, and
Do you want
It's-
some
I've-
help on the phone with these people?
I mean, I'm not gonna say no,
I think it's
but
their
they've had a lot of
responsibility.
problems with that building. There's still
Yeah.
problems that aren't
Yeah.
fixed, so we're so low on the,
I don't think
on
the building committee will be helpful. I think the school committee would be more helpful because they're on current stuff. And Christopher.
they've all been made,
might-
they've all been made aware.
The school building committee?
The school committee.
No,
issues
they,
that were-
they never got that.
Then, let me give it a
Just-
shot.
I'll exchange names and I'll get the,
All right.
the
Cable too,
main
if you
vendor.
want me to reach
So
out.
this school was, this was during COVID when we couldn't get in the building. So a lot of things, we couldn't check on them. We weren't allowed in the building when all this was going on. There was,
I see.
not only me, I hear the complaints, other parts of the building that should have been this way, should have been that way, but we couldn't get in the building.
I mean, someone should have signed off on the building project, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's been completely signed off. It's been 4 years. There was a school building committee meeting maybe 4 months ago, and they had a punch list of things that hadn't been done, and it sounded like there's still money to do all of this, but when I requested, I didn't get any answer.
Oh, pay for it with the cable.
If I have to and it'll get done, yes, I will do that, but
Yeah, I'd like, I mean, if, again.
I wanna
it
hear
goes
no
back
before-
to with one of these things that should have been done and addressed, I'd hate to take cable monies if we don't have to.
Right.
Especially if there's still building monies left over.
Yep.
I don't know, I mean, what do you think? Do you think that, maybe school committee can somehow push whoever the contractors were? I would get pictures also, that would be helpful.
Yeah, I have some on my phone right now, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that would help, but,
I can definitely look into it. I think school committee, school building committee being two separate kind of identities is where it gets a little tricky. Obviously, we have a school committee member that is on the school building committee, so I can try that avenue to see if that helps. But yes, I do know that there's things that were never completed, and kind of like John says, it's so long ago now that it seems to be like, oh, our job's done here.
Yeah.
And
It's not.
we're
Yeah.
left with, either funding it ourselves or, finding a solution for it.
right.
But it sounds like it's something that's needed and would definitely be used with everything that we have going on there, so. I'll,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
push.
I appreciate that. I mean, just to be able to go live from the various locations in the high school, that I think is critical. It is infrastructure that if there is monies left over in the building project, that should be the first avenue for getting it done.
And they keep saying there's money available.
There is, I think.
There should be, and $5,000, you know,
It's-
maybe on the high side. I don't know how many locations you're gonna wanna do,
Yeah,
but
I thought it was a crazy amount for,
Tips, yeah.
it's time and
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
energy, you know,
everyone
again,
charges
you
for
know.
travel now, and there's minimum
course.
4
Everything
hours
is at-
travel, and
everything is at
they
a
nickel and
premium
dime
now.
you.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
of course. But yeah, let's not let that one go so easy.
Yeah,
Maybe at the next meeting, we can,
I mean, just so you all know, this isn't something I've been trying for years, and I pointed this out for years. I've made the building committee aware, and everyone aware, and they just look at it, so. Alex, maybe 2 years ago, remember
yep.
Go to a
Brought
building
the-
committee meeting.
thing is, they don't have them. I think they had one last year.
Yeah, do we know who's on the building committee?
Yeah.
I have, yeah, I
You have
can
the list
speak
of them?
to,
Yeah, I wrote the
Karen
chair,
or
and you
something,
didn't
yeah.
write me back.
Yeah, because ultimately, the students are losing out.
and we paid for this, and we're not
Hmm.
utilizing, yeah, so
Absolutely.
that's the,
You're right, yep.
Yeah, and let me know if you need me or anybody from the board to get involved in that.
Okay. All right.
So that's the bulk of the meeting, of our board meeting. We have a next meeting date, which we can kind of float again and just, you know, maybe when you have something to report, or you and I can touch base and maybe set a meeting date for the spring sometime.
Mhm.
I don't want to meet every month if we don't have to. I mean, everybody's busy, and I understand that. And I mean, I think we all have our marching orders from at least from this meeting. You guys have any new business or anything you want to bring up to the committee? Don, you haven't said much.
Nothing much, Cal. Spectrum added to its streaming Max and Paramount, and some a Spanish channel. It was all streaming, and they eliminated 2 channels I never heard of, cartoon channels or something. That's about it. They've been very quiet, but they're showing ads. I caught it the other day about that little box I was talking about. But it's, who knows where they're doing it. And most of that stuff is Worcester, to the western part of the state.
Right.
Even their news, they're advertising, they got Spectrum News now, streaming. It's all Worcester and western part of the state. Nothing around here.
Yeah.
Other than that, they're quiet. But they show that, mentioned the box, I saw it last night, the ad, and it's like a streaming box. But that's about it, coming soon.
Right.
The guy had told me that about 2 years ago, one of the technicians, that they're gonna do away with all the boxes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all streaming, be a box about this size. That's coming, but who knows when.
Mm.
We'll probably be the last ones to get it. Because we're like a satellite. The Worcester area, they got all connections, every town is connected with even fiber,
Sure.
right to Springfield.
Yeah.
And over here, because we're an outpost, they say it's like $4,000 a mile to run fiber optic lines.
Yeah.
So they're running the servers up in Oxford, Mass. That's 80-something miles away. You figure what's it gonna cost them to run to Westport? Just a cable,
Yeah.
unless they're gonna lease,
Yeah.
fiber optic off regular commercial people. Who knows?
Yeah. That
There's
actually,
no commitment.
yeah. No, there won't be from them.
What does
Whatsoever.
Florida have? Are they all fiber now, or?
Well, they use Crown Castle for the buildings, but it's all Comcast with residential service. And it's not fiber, it's still.
Still all like a copper cable, like over
Still
here?
copper cable, yeah. Which reminds me, Don, I'm glad you brought it up about internet. There has not been an internet advisory committee in recent months, so I don't have any real updates in terms of where the town's infrastructure is going. I do know that the buildings are connected with fiber. The thought process was to try to expand that out to the residential areas. Cost prohibitive right now. Last meeting, they were looking at various grants and funding sources to try to make that happen, but I don't have any new news regarding.
Shauna mentioned that it's just on hold. Everything's on hold.
Yeah, it's idle right now.
Yeah.
So David Cole is the one that kind of initiates a lot of it, and I think he's been looking for some funding sources as well. So we'll see where that goes.
Another thing, to think about going wireless. You won't have actually a cable coming to your house. If they go fiber, fiber will not be compatible to your connection. So they're talking about having little transmitters, maybe every quarter mile on a post, will receive a wireless signal to your for cable.
Yeah,
It'll be like streaming. It'll be all wireless in the future.
yeah.
So there'll be no line coming to the house.
Hopefully in our lifetime.
Hopefully.
I still have that Worcester still at the bottom, but that's 192.
Yeah,
That's not gonna go away.
yeah. We have a similar problem in Fall River with the labeling of the channels on the guide, but, you know, I think, you know, as we all know, the direction for, at least, you know, we're having a presence now more on social media. I think pursuing that is a real viable alternative to at least keep your programming going. The other thing that I think that, you know, when we do get Steve Willette's ear, I know there was some legislation that they were looking at in terms of having the cable providers provide revenue from their streaming and internet services to fund
Good.
local access.
Good.
And there is some legislation up at the state that, I don't know where it is right now, but that would be good to at least ensure your funding.
See, right now, we just get money from a cable subscriber that they have a box.
Right,
If they're streaming, it doesn't count.
right.
So,
And a lot of people are dropping,
right.
you know, their cable boxes. and
Just keeping
don't-
the internet and the phone service.
Yeah, yeah. We,
I don't know why they care, they pass it along to the consumer anyway, it doesn't come out of their hide.
exactly,
So
exactly.
why?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, if there's no other business, I think we pretty much accomplished everything in record time.